Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for logging in. My name is Alex Bassini. I'm the Business Development Manager and one of the treatment specialists here at AWC Solutions. Today, we're joined by Troy Lupul, also from AWC. Nice shirt, Troy. One of the Business Development Managers here. We are going into something a little different this week. We have touched technologies and we've gone over contaminants, and we've really narrowed down into water chemistry and some of the things that interfere with water treatment. Today, we're going to be showcasing or doing more of a case study on water and both water and wastewater plant upgrades. With some of these things that are coming down the line, you know, we've got a lot of these, industry is moving towards changing some things in industry. And rather than putting in new plants, there are, you know, a lot of opportunities out there with, you know, upgrades and renovations. So this is something that we're going to be covering. For those of you that are tuning with us again, thank you very much. Welcome back. If this is your first time, this is us. So we've been doing this now for a couple weeks, a couple months actually. I think we started back in June. So these are some of the topics that we've covered. Again, if this is the first time you're tuning in, you can go into the YouTube channel and there'll be a recording of these. These are the ones that are upcoming, the ones that are scheduled so far. Today, we're going to be doing some of the plant upgrades. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing brine management, which is both reverse osmosis and, of course, desalination. And then we're going to be going into membrane bioreactors. A little quick background on AWC. We've been around for 40 years. We design and manufacture water and wastewater treatment plants. We have close to 600 plants worldwide and growing. We've done some projects from the Arctic Circle down to South Africa, so it's you know, worldwide. We have been doing a lot of things, of course, in North America, and we are based out of beautiful British Columbia here in Vancouver. So we do kind of split things into three. We've got everything that has to do with potable water, then wastewater, and of course, skid-mounted systems. Today on the retrofits, we're not going to be doing any of these because we're focusing more on upgrades. With that, we're going to bring it up to the plant upgrades, and Troy, take it away.
Yeah, super. Thank you for having us today at AWC. We're really excited about launching our new beautiful marine grade aluminum flights and chain system. And also we want to introduce you to a new material that we probably are, what we're thinking is the first of its kind. Bisconite, you came out of the mining industry and we're applying it today. So on a go forward basis, next slide, please, Alex. So just as a case study here, we wanted to show you what we've done at North Hudson Sewage Authority. This is a 40 million MGD plant. It's a wastewater plant, and most of all, it's an upgrade for filtration as well as the DAF unit. And basically, the outfall line you see here, going out right across the river is Manhattan, and you can see the Empire State Building. So it's a very prestigious area, very high profile. So, ta-da, here we go. Easier on paper. We'll get right into it. One of the difficulties, as you can see here, it's much easier to sit in an office, do it on paper, but in real life, what we found was the existing technologies that were available to basically retrofit and upgrade a facility for filtration, as well as what I'm going to call an uneven wall and a very difficult application. Because most of the walls here are not square. It's not a true square for height and adjustment. What's been really difficult with existing materials like fiberglass and whatnot, they're not really accommodating to adjustment, which creates a lot of field exposure for ourselves as well as the general contractor. This creates a lot of difficulties. So we came up with what we would call a much more adjustable system, better than the industry. So if you can see here, the fiberglass plates were sagging. We've got a lot of difficulty in the existing cells. And this facility here basically was on its last legs in regards to meeting water quality. So very difficult. Next slide. As you can see here, we were valves, equipment, and in on your retrofit and upgrades, a lot of these things need to be taken into account when we're doing a retrofit. Here is a nice picture of the facility on the right-hand side, the big building. That's where the 5 DAF filter cells are. And basically, it's a very large plant, 40 MGD a day, and very tight location. So not a lot of room to move. Next slide, please. So as you can see, here's the existing old cells. The DAF is performing very poorly. You can see the float is very bad. There's not a lot of two-phasing going on in the water. Also, what you'll see here is that the flights are carrying a lot of sludge. They're really dipping in. Not a lot of adjustments. The maintenance crews had nightmares with the shafts breaking, a lot of pull and drag, a lot of misalignment, and basically failure in dropping the flights into what I call the soup, and a lot of maintenance issues. So an upgrade was definitely in need of these old filters. So as good old AWC Solutions, we do what is called a pre-engineering takeoff. We do a huge site assessment, and we also work on the logistics, much more focused on reducing the field exposure and also taking detailed measurements. Because when you're doing a retrofit, it's like this old house, nothing is even, nothing is square. And if you buy it off a existing manufacturer, it's going to be pretty hard to retrofit it into an existing old cell or tank. So what we're trying to do here at AWC is mitigate field exposure. And by mitigating that, we can get into a better quality detailed fabrication and basically provide a custom fit for your customer. And basically here we were doing 10 cells in total. So it's quite a large job. Okay. Here we have kind of a cutaway, and what I'm really excited about is we applied our two diffuser nozzles, and they're basically allowing ourselves to go from high flow to low flow. And this basically creates a better quality two-phase. And being the length of it is being 40 feet and 22 to 25 or 23 foot wide, we wanted to create a good quality float that allowed us to get a high purity, good clean water before it hit the filter. And this is where, once again, we come back to providing a very customized approach. Next slide. So let's get into the details. One of the things is that we can provide a customized detailed design and engineering and a turnover package for you that basically provides this nice marine grade flighting system. And you can see we've got greater slots within the flighting itself. And this allows us to basically move a lot of the adjustments, because all the scum beaches were crooked, a lot of difficulty. And once again, as we install and do things, we want to make it easier for either ourselves or the contractor to install. This requires better materials, better adjustability, and probably what I would say, we could probably do the bigger tanks and also provide you a better quality product for sledge loads and heavy duty and flexibility in design. Next slide, please, Alex. So if you get into the details, one of the things we were excited about was you can see the adjustable shaft. A lot of people have that in fiberglass, but it's not that durable. What we find is they work hard. Right here we have a 304 stainless steel, and we can also go to different types of materials. But one of the things is it's very adjustable for getting into these older plants and doing the retrofits. As you can see, all our parts are color coded, and we like that due to the fact that we can basically segregate and show the adjustability when we get into walls that are uneven by even 2 feet or 3 feet or 5 inches or 2 inches. Next slide. Here we're really excited about a material that we have is called bisconite. And these bushings right here allow us to go to a very low friction applications. Once again, this came out of the mining industry, and it is far superior. And we looked at all our material selection when we get into those retrofits, because you can see the chain we want on an uneven wall and a wall that's uneven, but you can see how true the chain is in this picture, how exact, accurate we can make it. And with the shoulders on the rollers, it really provides us a nice balance and nice effortless pull regardless of the sludge load. And basically right now we can offer what we love, and our engineers, Tunis, has done a fabulous job with high torque alarms, chain slump sensors. We can really customize your system unlike any other competitor out in the market today. And we're really proud of that. And also chain tensioners. Here's our team putting together the first 2 cells while the plant was still running. We basically had to be careful because obviously you got 40 MGD a day coming down the pipe. Our team basically put the 2 cells together and basically are moving forward, putting the aluminum flights in. They're a little bit shinier. Next slide. here they are working. We're basically testing them. We're basically putting them in kind of a serviceability with the new filter under drains we put in, the new troughs, big difference. And also, it's hard to see, but on a 40-foot length and 22 to 21 feet wide, a lot of heights were crooked, scum beaches were crooked. So you needed a high level of I'm going to say, better quality materials to do adjustments when you apply, because this is going into renovation land, which is a lot of field exposure. And we're trying to de-risk that field exposure, putting in new valves, our new diffuser headers. So it looked fantastic. So here's the results. So here we go. Look at the float we have there. It is a nice creamy mocha, beautiful float. The two-phasing we're getting in the water is phenomenal. We were really excited. The water quality hitting the filter was extremely good. And on the scum beach right there, you can see the picture and you can see the drag. Look at the kilowatts, 0.03 kilowatts. The Visconite rollers are paying off. Less and less friction. We're lighter, we're stronger, we can go wider, and not to mention, we have a crooked wall, we have a crooked tank, and we've got a true running system that's going to last a very long time. Far superior materials with the marine grade aluminum flights. The maintenance crews were ecstatic about the shafts being adjustable, everything, and most of all, look at the power, 0.03 on a 40-foot long DAF. Next slide. So you can see when we started off with our raw slate here, like I said, it's easier on paper than it is in real life. And then on the right, a fully functioning system, getting good two-phasing with our really nice diffuser system built out of 304 stainless steel, our ship-grade aluminum flights, and getting a really good float. And then precipitation is a good clear water once we two-phase the water going into the filter. Next slide. And the final results. So we've done 10 trains at 40 MGD, and the final results, we had less than 5 NTU effluent going out to the North Hudson. So very high water quality, achieved the transviscosity of the UVs were fantastic, and we really helped the client provide our customer less field exposure, a true line of sight of costing, and most of all, we are providing a very customization system compared to our competition of just buying materials. We like to do customization and reduce the risk for our customers for that. Next slide. I think what we have at AWC compared to our competitors is we have an experienced retrofit team. We're big enough, but yet small enough to do all the design and adjustments. And most of all, we provide a clear engineering and installation work package like no other. And we also, I would like to say, compared to our competitors, we provide a lower power consumption based upon these products. And we want to provide a robust design and safety. And most of all, if you have what I'm going to say, an upgrade or a retrofit coming along, please check us out. It'd be just fantastic for us to provide a quote and a real good engineering site, and also identify with our experienced team any of those what not to do's in the industry. So thank you very much. If there's any questions, it'd be much appreciated. Hopefully you enjoyed our opportunity to showcase our marine grade aluminum flights.
Thank you, Troy. I really like the portion where you say what not to do.
Yeah, that's important. I think it's easy for everybody to buy parts and materials and give it to a general contractor or yourself, but that's where things go astray. And I think our differentiator is we want to provide superior materials, but also create the biggest, I would say, in the industry, adjustability. And we know right now with this marine grade material, we can go wider, we can create heavier sludge loads, and also provide a much more superior custom fit than our competitors. So we're really excited about the new, in the future with these upgrades. I think it'll be fantastic.
So we're going to open it up for some questions. If anybody wants to put it in the chat box, don't be shy. You can turn on your camera, ask Troy a question. I do have a couple of them that came in, and I'm going to start with my question here. You had mentioned that we're using Visconite, it's lowering the drag, and you're measuring that in kilowatts. So is that the unit of measure we're using to identify what kind of drag you're coming across the rails there?
Yeah, on this application, they use kilowatts. Basically, if you look at, you had a heavy sludge load on the flights, or you're pulling up on the scum beach, for instance, in this application, you can see the pull and the stress on everything. What we're trying to do is have our cake and eat it too in the engineering world of basically providing high sludge loads, high froth, good floats, and be able to pull it onto the scum beach and good cleaning, and then be able to have low energy or less stress on any of the parts. And that's one of the problems that we found, as you can see in the older one, with the fiberglass, you get a lot of work hardening. And over time, it breaks and then it falls into the soup. Here with the visconite rollers and the materials and the aluminum grade, we have a really rigid structure, really strong. And with the visconite, you get this beautiful, less resistance. And it comes onto the scum beach with all this adjustability. It makes it easier for the maintenance crews, and you get a long-term product that's going to last a long, long time.
So I have another question here that says, does AWC work with a general contractor?
Yes, we can work with your local general contractor of choice, or else we could be the prime and provide that. I think that's one of the things what we're trying to do in the industry, differentiated, is basically de-risk it for our customers. And I think that's important, because one of the things is, as once again, I call it this old house, is there's a lot of issues with things are uneven, things aren't right. You know, it's easy to buy it off the internet and on a box, but at the end of the day, it's about the customization and the ability to execute, and we want to reduce that. And also, what I'm really excited about is we have a technology that we can apply, that if you have a chain break or a misalignment, it catches a problem before it's a problem. We can also show the rotation speeds better. What we're trying to do is create a better, more robust, operator-friendly. And with our technology, we want to be a differentiator compared to just buying, you know, plastic flights and whatnot. We know we have a superior product, and we're excited about launching it in some of these bigger applications, which we did in North Hudson.
So a follow-up to that, it's who does the install? Is the contractor doing the install, the customer doing the install, AWC installing it?
Well, once again, every site's different. We can use our local general contractor, or else we could bring our team down and actually do the install.
And how many retrofits have we done so far?
We're up to 5 now, 5 retrofits, and constantly improving. You know, obviously 40 MGD a day in a very high profile area is a good sized job for us. And we were really excited that it went well. We worked with a fantastic resident engineer. The team was really good. And once again, we're trying to reduce the field exposure. And with our technology, with different things that the customer would like, if the chain does break, guess what? We can identify it immediately. It goes on the HMI in the control room. Bang, the operator can adjust to it. So it's exciting.
I don't know if you're looking at the questions there, but right on the chain break portion of it, we have a question that came in. So does the unit identify, does it have a jam detection or a chain break?
Yes. We can apply our technology that basically if the flight or something comes misaligned or basically breaks off or stops and it doesn't see that, it'll basically send an alarm to the HMI in the control room. So it's actually pretty good. And we also have a really good torque management. So we can pull off a lot of data. The sky's the limit as far as what we want to pull off for information on those flight and chains. And I think that's data is something that operations and engineers like. That they can tell which flight and which cell's working properly, how much sludge load for torque. I've seen it where, you know, if you're not blowing down your sludge blanket and this torque is getting up, and then you can see it, and you can see a gradual. We can build a graph, and our torque indicator can showcase that this is getting more and more pressure. And then also on top of that, if it does come out of alignment, we're catching a problem before it gets catastrophic. And that's really the key, is the due diligence, what we can apply with our technology.
Well, thank you, Troy, for that. That's, you know, for a case study, this was exactly what we were looking for. If anybody does have any follow-up questions, you have his contact information in there, mine as well. Of course, I've got a shameful plug here as far as the YouTube channel. We do have everything in there with all our past presentations. If you've missed any, or if you want to go through there and take a look at some of the things that we're doing, please make sure you go on there. We are going to be sending out an email either tomorrow or Monday with a recording to this if you need to share it. And of course, now that we've changed it over to 2 weeks rather than every other week, next webinar, number 24, is going to be February 25th, and we're going to be touching brine management. I know brine management has come up before when we were talking about desalination and some of the reverse osmosis membranes that have been used. So make sure that you stay tuned. Again, thank you very much for tuning in. Troy, thank you very much, and I will see you all in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.